Good day, good evening, night, whatever time is it that you are watching this video. Today I'm gonna do several things at the same time. The first thing that we'll try to do is make a quick review on a very well worn pair of work boots, in this case a pair of Caterpillar boots. These are the boots that are being replaced by the next boots that we reviewed. I gave my initial thoughts on the previous video. These boots are called the second shift, I think. They are waterproof boots. They are work boots. They have steel toe. Just to show you, they are oiled leather, if I'm correct. And I have had them for the last 7 months actually, and they have endured roughly, I'd say, an average of 2 miles per day, 4 to 5 days a week. So they have seen their fair share of activity. As you can see, there's a lot of nips and cuts. And the major reason why I'm changing them is because, as you can see in here, the welt is starting to give. Let me show you. See the separation there? Now this has happened because the welt in here is man-made material. Ideally, it should be leather. You can see that it also has another crack there. Let me point it out over here. So the water is seeping through the boot. It's also happening in other spots in the welt, like in here. And in here, it's so terrible that the actual boot is already coming apart, as you can see. It also happened on the other boot. It is a little bit less noticeable, but it's still an occurrence in this boot too. Now, this is something quite frustrating because this pair of boots cost, if I'm correct, $90. So if I were to resole them, most likely the cost of resoling them is going to be more than the actual value of the boot. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of positive things to these boots. For one, they were rather economical, they were not too expensive. Because of how they are constructed, they felt well, right off the bat. No break-in period, because the majority of the materials, aside from the upper, are man-made materials. You have a rubber sole, you have I think it's Gore-Tex insole and sock liner. So I think it's foam, yes. So they were really comfortable, and they had literally no break-in period from the get-go. Now, as you can see, they have not aged well. They have all these nips and cuts, which, if you remember, let me show them to you. When you compare it to the nicks, all this area gets a lot of abrasion, a lot of work. So this being rough out leather should allow for a better looking boot within time. As time goes by, this should absorb all this abrasion a little bit better. So that's the reason why I'm changing boots. They are no longer holding its structure. They're already coming apart. They're also letting water in through these areas. So they just need to be replaced. At this moment, I don't know if I'm gonna have them resold or maybe donate in them to another channel, like Rose Anvil's channel, in which he tears apart boots. I'll try to contact them and reach out and see if they would be interested in seeing what's inside these type of boots and maybe cut them in half I'll reach out and we'll find out eventually as we go. Now, given the conditions of these boots, I thought it'd be interesting to work on removing or showing how to remove salt. As you can see, there's accumulation of salt in here because I live in the Midwest and there's a lot of salt when we get snow. So in order to do that, these boots would serve the purpose. The first thing that we need to do is clean the upper, remove anything that is loosely placed on the upper. We'll do the same thing for the other boot and make sure that there's nothing on the upper. This you can do with another kind of shoe brush, but I'm gonna use this brush because I'm gonna also use this brush to, in conjunction with vinegar or some sort of acid, treat the upper. So I'll apply some vinegar. Most of the time the suggestions are to use 1 part vinegar, 1 part water. But at this stage I'm gonna just go straight with vinegar because the seeping of salt is rather dramatic in this boot. Make sure that you apply it evenly on the whole upper where the salt concentration is being observed. It's been observed, sorry. And being that this is pull-up leather, there are products that can be used once the salt is removed to condition the leather. There are greasy products from Saphir, for instance, and there are other family of products that you can use. I think if I were to condition these boots, I would use needs food oil, which is also something that you can use. The idea here is to try to neutralize the base nature of the salt with the acid nature of the acetic acid in the vinegar. Try to pull it out. Still some spots in here. Okay, I think this boot is ready. Let's put it here on the side. As a matter of fact, there's still 1 spot in here. It needs a little bit more treatment. Be ready for that particular vinegar smell, which could be rather pungent. You could also make a combination of water and dishwashing soap or another style of shoe shampoo like the Saphir shampoo, and soak these boots or soak the shoes in that solution, and that will also help you pull out the salt from the upper. From the uppers, sorry. This boot had less salt concentration than its companion. Some areas might need more than one pass. Now, as the vinegar is rather aggressive, once you have enough coverage, like we do now, maybe we could also use a damp cloth to remove any excess vinegar and to also start pulling away the mechanically the salt from the shoes. So let me get something to do that. Ideally, when you do this, please remember to always insert the shoe trees or the on the boots or on the shoes prior to this step, because you're gonna get the boots or shoes wet, so the leather might shrink, and it also might get some sort of change in its structure. So it's always recommended that you can see all this dirt, that you insert the shoe trees. Now, because I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this pair of boots, I bypassed that stage, but I strongly suggest that before you do any work on uppers, that you make sure that you have shoe trees in the boots or in the shoes. Okay, this is done. What I have to do now is allow these boots to dry, and then we'll hopefully come back and condition them so that you can see what the next step could be. Thank you.